father's name was Patrick. This podcast and vlog is dedicated to Claire because she's my bestie after the open mic, and that's probably not even true. But she was so nice. And of course, Jack and Grace. Like, this is my first Roxy show without Jack, and my second one without Grace. And throughout the whole night, it felt like something was missing. And I know what was missing. Jack and Grace were missing. Fr.Mark can probably say it way better than I can about deadening desires and all of that stuff, and I'll leave that homily linked down below. So I should maybe just deaden the desire. It's from Matthew chapter 15, 23 to 25. So we'll try to leave it linked down below. And it's when that woman kept coming to Jesus and asking for her daughter to be healed, and Jesus was just ignoring her. I don't know how I want to put deadening desires in this, but I don't know. And it there's a thing, and it's WWJD, what would Jesus do? But last night it was, what would Jack do? And Jack would want me to stand in my spot, and that's what I did. I lost my Taylor Marshall stress ball full of tape. I literally have to go find it. I really hope nobody threw it out, because that would be horrible if my Taylor Marshall stress ball of tape was gone. But there wasn't really any tape that I could find. But Josh gave me the set list, and then he signed it. We're gonna do the honors with some sticky tack, and I think go really nicely next to the Taylor Marshall set list. Legends, right? Josh Goodman and Taylor Marshall. I liked when, I'm not gonna say his name right, Nick Scraped, whatever the opening guy's name was, he says, that's what the holidays are all about, getting through it. And then the little Nick, however you say his last name, December 17th. Guys, today is Drew did his performance at not the amphitheater. What's it called? Athenaeum Theater. That was a fun night too, so I'll leave it wherever it's linked, and then it'll be in the show notes for my podcasters. Okay, I am so excited, and I have to talk about this early on in the episode. Josh, I keep wanting to call Josh Drew and Drew Josh. Josh came over to me and I was like, Josh, where's your wife? Because I wanted to hang out with her, and I was really trying to get her to come, and he's like, oh, she's sick. And as he's saying that, he starts jamming something on my head, and he walks away back over to his little computer to do the sound, and he said, Jack couldn't be the only one. I got a Josh Goodman hat. Apparently this is supposed to be Virginia for the YouTubers. It really didn't fit my head, but now I look so cute. I actually have, and he gave it to me for free. Does it look cute? Is the lighting good? If not, there'll be pictures on Instagram and everything. I want to read you Matthew 15, 23 to 25. But he answered her not a word, and his disciples came and besought him, saying, send her away, for she crieth after us. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Then she came and worshipped and said, Lord, help me. I don't think this is it, but maybe I should just read the whole thing. Go read your Bible. Get in the Word, y'all. We're in the world, but of the Word. That's a Paul and Morgan quote. They're really Christian people that I watch. I zoned out for a second, and when I zoned out, Nick was changing all of the words to All I Want for Christmas, but it was really funny because he's like, I don't know whatever. Nick's great. Comment down below if I should have him on the podcast. Josh is so funny. He needs to record Dave. I like Dave, but his father's name was Pat. Is his father's name Patrick? I think his father's name is Patrick. And To the Ends of the Earth. When he played To the Ends of the Earth, I promise you, I whispered, yes, because I love that song. It was so good to see Drew on stage again, and I liked when he started playing the electric guitar and he says, I don't play electric guitar much live in person for you guys, so you're in for a treat. And let me tell you, we were in for a treat the whole night. So much talent. So many legends have taken the stage at the Roxy. When Drew did a cover of You're a Good Girl, I don't know the name of the song, he said, does anyone have a cassette tape? And I got to raise my hand. I got to hear The View by Arbor Road before everybody else did, and it came in a cassette tape form. So thanks, Jack, for letting me get to be a part of raising my hand for the cassette tape. When Josh and Drew started singing Silent Night, was it planned that Josh was supposed to come on stage and sing Silent Night with Drew? It just blessed our eardrums so much. And it's like when Florida Georgia Line was singing Holy and I was at the concert like before COVID, and then Dan and Shay came out and they started singing Holy, and then Shay sings ah, Angels Sing. Okay, so I again, what would Jack do? I took a picture with Josh and Drew on stage at the end of the show, and Josh, I think this is Mike about to die. Oh my lord. One sec. I'm gonna pause it and I need to check my audio. And Josh just like literally jumped. He didn't like run it, like he literally just like jumped up on the stage. And all night I was trying to figure out how to do it, but I couldn't. And I think I got it like once or twice. But I did minimal effort to help clean up because I got really insecure because I wrapped the cords around my arm, and apparently you're not supposed to do that. And I learned from like our sacred music director allowed me to do that, and like Jack allowed me to do that, and I don't know where else I've like wrapped cords like that. And they've let me. And so apparently Josh was like, oh my gosh, that's so bad. And so I was like kind of afraid to ask for help, but I did a little bit. And then when you try to jump on stage, if I would have, I was just so scared of like busting open my shins. But would Josh have to pay me workman's comp if I busted my shins when I was like quote unquote helping him? Every time I wanted to leave, Drew was not in the room, and I wanted to say bye to Josh and Drew together, so I had to like wait. And then like when they were both in the room, we would just get busy doing other things. So then finally, I went over and I started shaking Josh's hand, and Josh was like, "It's good to know you," and I was like, "Who's dying? Are we breaking up?" And he said, "Yes, we're breaking up." And I was like, no, we can't break up because we have to do a podcast with you and Drew together, which I think would be so fun. And I just, I want to do that first. But I just felt so awkward, like standing around. And so that's why I like need to leave and I work so much earlier now. And I wanted to like let them go eat their Domino's pizza in the basement and then go to the studio by themselves. When I wrote, like, I want to give a shout out to Claire, who was, it said, shut up to Claire Goodman, who wasn't my bestie, who I hung out with that night at the open mic. It should say, shout out to Claire Goodman, who was my bestie, who I hung out with that night at the open mic. I was just making bullet points because I wanted to, like, make bullet points instead of writing it all out and then having to read it. So I hope this is like a good alternative to like knowing what I'm going to say, but then also just letting stuff spew out of my mouth. Also, I never knew that this girl Jessica like is basically the only worker who works at the Roxy, which means she would have been there for like both Mandala shows. She would have been there when I saw Armani. She would have been there when I saw Joe Bartley. She would have been there when I saw Indigo Skies. She would have been there when I saw like Drew, Josh, Taylor, Alex, all of the people. That's so wild. She does amazing, and I went up to go introduce myself to her after and be like, "You like, is this true?" And she's like, "Yeah, of course." And I was like, and then I started listing off the people. She's like, "Oh yeah, I know. You look really familiar." And I was like, "This is so cute." At the end, Drew asked me which part resonated with me, and I couldn't think of what it was. First of all, he has a song called Papa, and it's about his grandpa, and he has a song about Graham, and it's about his grandma, and I'm like, this is so cute. It's so cute. And I'm like, my grandpa isn't dead yet. Both my grandpas aren't dead yet, but it's just like when those unfortunate things happen, I feel like that song is gonna hit with me more. And I texted him. I'm like, oh, whoa, 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 whoa. The part that resonated with me because I couldn't think of it is when Drew was like, I want to be home and with my family, but I also want to be out working on my music and being great and all of the things. And he's like, when I'm at home, I feel, you know what I mean? Like the guilty no matter where you are is what I feel like. And I'm like, that kind of hits. Am I too young to say that? That hits. Like, I want to be out with my friends, but I also want to be home with my family. I can't word it right. You should have been there to hear the amazingness. But I think that's all I'm going to say for now. And the show was really great, and I wish more of you guys could have been there. There was like 20, 30 people there, and it was really small and intimate, but I just want to give you a quick little update on the show. And I hope that I can see you guys all really soon. Stay tuned for all my cute posts. Okay, bye.